Well, it's Monday, April 27th, 2015. Welcome to your Weld County School District 6 Board of Education meeting. Will you join us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ms. Brand.
Mr. DeWitt?
Present.
Mr. Haefele?
He's absent this evening.
Mr. Hall?
Present.
Mr. Lydiak?
Present.
Dr. Richard?
Present.
Mr. Richardson?
Present.
Mrs. Elise?
Present.
6 members are present.
Thank you. Welcome everybody to this evening's meeting. There are a number of exciting adventures going on in addition to some feedback from our community about their perception of the schools. We also have the opportunity to award and recognize some significant achievements, and we're anxious to do that this evening. At this time, I introduce the possibility of hearing of persons desiring to speak before the Board of Education. Has anyone identified themselves as being interested to do so at this time?
No.
Okay, thank you. Work session report, Ms. Brea.
Board of Education President Roger DeWitt began the work session with open comments from board members, a review of upcoming calendar events, and discussion of future agenda items. Chief Academic Officer Dr. Stacy Dattery, Director of Curriculum Diana Riley, and Elementary Literacy Coordinator Kelly Seelbach presented an overview of the proposed elementary literacy adoption. Dr. Dattery reviewed the process and timeline for the Literacy Task Force Committee. Ms. Seelbach spoke about the reading and writing curriculum that was reviewed by the committee. Dr. Dattery then spoke about the advantages of the recommended curriculum and proposals for the literacy adoptions will be brought back for board action at future meetings. Chief Financial Officer Megan Sponsler, Director of Finance Mandy Hydock, and Stifel-Nicholas representative Leanne Toller gave a presentation regarding bond refinancing for the district. Chief Human Resources Officer Dr. Kevin Ayton gave an overview for the superintendent evaluation process and timeline. He presented examples of evaluation processes, and board members had time for questions and discussions. Interim Superintendent Wayne Eads gave an update regarding the negotiations process, and that concluded the work session.
Thank you. The next item is the approval of the agenda. That's an action item for which I'll welcome a motion at this time.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Roll call, Ms. Brea.
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Lydiak?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Mr. Richardson?
Aye.
Mrs. Elise?
Aye.
And the motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. The next item is the approval of the consent agenda. This is an action item. I accept a motion at this time. Your motion is on page 7.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 approve the items as presented on the consent agenda and authorize the officers to sign any and all contracts.
Second.
Comment or discussion? Roll call,
Yes.
Ms. Brea. Oh, excuse me, please.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't do that. I had one question for Mr. Eads. Under the H&L Development LLC for the flooring refinishing, are we just going to seal the concrete floors, or what's the intention to go back down on top of it?
Yeah, actually, we're going to polish the concrete floor to a 1500 grit level, so it's going to be a polished concrete floor, which is the same finish that's at Prairie Heights Middle School.
Okay.
It's a really popular way to finish concrete floors now, and it looks very nice, and so that's what we'll do. So.
Okay, I just wanted to ask.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded. Other discussion or question? Roll call, Ms. Brea.
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Lydiak?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Mr. Richardson?
Aye.
Mrs. Elise?
Aye.
And the motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. The next item is a happy moment for us. It's an opportunity to recognize the Council of Student Representatives and a report from Principal Shelley Robbins from Greeley West High School. Welcome, Ms. Robbins.
Thank you. Mr. President, members of the board, Mr. Eads. The Council of Student Representatives is an organization of all high schools within the Greeley-Evans School District 6. Each high school has 2 to 4 members that are selected by their principal to represent their representative school. These students serve as ambassadors of the youth within the schools and community, using the relationships that they have with their peers to listen to student opinions and ensure representation of the student voice for District 6. The Council of Student Representatives advises the Board of Education with the development of policies, regulations, and procedures that affect the student body of Greeley-Evans 6. Some highlights from this year were touring the new Prairie Heights Middle School, attending the CASB convention, organizing a district-wide food can drive, and learning about our nutrition services. Also, this Friday, May 1st, the students will be hosting an appreciation barbecue for the first responders, police, fire, and paramedics of Greeley-Evans. The event will be an opportunity for our students to thank the first responders and keeping our community safe. At this time, I would like to recognize the members of the 2014-15 Council of Student Representatives. As I call your name, can you please come forward? Elizabeth Bland, Central Middle School, no, high school. A little bit longer. Katie Campbell, Central, Senior. Roger. Roger, there's that too. Oops, sorry. Jackie English, Northridge High School, Senior. Alyssa Flores, Greeley West, Senior. Felix Hernandez, Greeley West, Senior. Jesus Herrera Flores, Jefferson, Jr. Meg Longcore, Union Colony, freshman. David Miller, Central, Junior. Alexandra Moulter, University, Junior. Diana Rowe, Greeley West, Junior. Riley Wonder, Northridge, sophomore. Justin Zulo, Union Colony, Junior. Thank you to all of you for representing Greeley School District 6.
very much, ma'am. I'll just hold on to these for a minute. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. And congratulations to all of you and your family members and friends. The next item is a recognition of the Boettcher Foundation Scholarship Recipient. And to present that is Director of Communications, Teresa Myers.
Thank you so much, President DeWitt, Superintendent Eads, and members of the Board of Education. I always get the fun jobs because I get to meet some wonderful students through my job, and Jackie is one of them. Jackie is our sole Boettcher Scholar winner this year. She is from Northridge High School. Yeah. I think that anybody that knows Jackie will know that she is a remarkable student. When I went to hunt her, and I literally had to hunt this girl down to interview her for the press release the day that the Boettchers were released, she was at McCullough volunteering. She takes time out of her busy schedule to go there in the afternoons and volunteer with younger students. She's actually an alumni of that school. So, but she was on her way then to golf practice, so I had about 5 minutes. And I think many of you also know that Jackie's an accomplished dancer. She's an accomplished academia. She is an amazing, amazing student, and she's just a nice person. She's somebody that you are proud to know, and we are proud to have her in Greeley-Evans School District 6. I had to say, as a mom, she broke me up because she actually wrote her essay for the Boettchers about her relationship with her mother, and it was very sweet. And she said that was a risk on her part because she thought it was a bit of a cliche subject to be writing about. But she must have written it very eloquently because she's standing before us today as a Boettcher Scholar. So Jackie, do you want to come up?
There's got to be a more efficient way to do this, but it's kind of fun. The next item being presented again by Teresa Myers of our Director of Communications is the Daniels Fund Scholarships.
Thank you, President DeWitt, Superintendent Eads, and members of the board. Well, again, we have some great news on the front of our Daniels Fund Scholars this year. We have 9 students from District 6 who have received the very prestigious Daniels Fund Scholarship this year. For those of you who don't know, this is a 4-year scholarship completely paid by the Daniels Fund, room and board, books, miscellaneous educational expenses to any accredited university or college in the United States of America. So that is a pretty amazing scholarship. It is very competitive. There were nearly 3,000 students this year who applied for the Daniels Fund, and that's in several states. That's not just Colorado. It's New Mexico, Utah, Wyoming, and Colorado. And to have 9 from our district is a pretty amazing accomplishment. And again, we are so proud of these students, and I'll call you up one by one again, and if you will just stand up here so I can get a group picture. I'm kind of double dutying the photo and announcing, so if you'll bear with me, we'll call you up one by one. So our first Daniels Fund recipient is Alyssa Bull from Union Colony Preparatory School. Our second Daniels Fund recipient is Katie Campbell from Greeley Central High School. Next, we have Wilfredo Castillo from Northridge High School. The next is Amanda Horn from University Schools. Next, we have another Union Colony Preparatory student, Tanner Lucas. Next, from Northridge High School, Jose Miramontes. Sorry, I lost my place. Next, from Frontier Charter Academy is Hannah Moe. Sorry, I mispronounced that. It's Hannah Mao. Next, also from Northridge High School is Jeremy Sigelke. I'm sorry, I should have asked for that one too. Come on up, Jeremy. And finally, from Greeley West High School, Andra Turner. Yeah, no, we'll have to put some of the guys behind. Okay. I think we're pretty good. You get in between them, perfect. One more down in between those two girls. Perfect. All right, everybody look this way. All right. Did everybody get their picture? Thank you again, Mr. DeWitt. And I did want to point out, I wanted to give a little shout out for Northridge. Jackie this year makes 8 Northridge Boettcher Scholars in 8 years. So that's pretty amazing.
Obviously, these are the kinds of traditions we want to maintain. Thank you all very much. Somehow it seems like there would be another thank you to give out, and that would certainly be to family, friends, and parents. Can we give a shout out to those people who encouraged and lived with these people? Congratulations and thank you very much. Another high note here this evening, we can think a little bit about Educator Appreciation Days. And Chief Academic Officer Dr. Stacy Dattery is here to give us a little update on this. And this is actually an action item, and I'll be glad to accept a motion to that effect at this time. That would be on page 8.
I move that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 adopt the honorary proclamation to declare that Educator Appreciation Days be celebrated and recognized during the month of May 2015.
Second.
There it is. Thank you very much. Dr. Dattery, I have that proclamation ready, but do you have some words of wisdom for us before I do that?
No, I don't have anything that I would like to share unless if you would like to read it or if you would like me to read it.
If you're prepared, go right ahead. I'd be glad to be read to.
Okay. Well, it is actually just an honor to be able to read this proclamation. And so it goes, whereas a well-educated public is essential to the preservation of our national freedom and our democratic system of government. And whereas the people of the United States have recognized that free access to a public education for all children is a vital component of a strong and vibrant country. And whereas the Board of Education recognizes and honors the important impact that teachers have on our children's education. And whereas a rich and well-rounded education includes curriculum, instruction, and support for the physical health and well-being of our children. And whereas children's education and the success of their schools is also dependent upon exceptional and dedicated leadership at the school and district level. And whereas it is appropriate that teachers and educational leaders be publicly recognized for their dedication and commitment to educating all students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of Weld County School District 6 proclaim the following national recognition dates to be celebrated and recognized in our local schools and communities of Greeley and Evans, Colorado. During the month of May, including Physical Education and Sports Week, May 1st through the 7th, 2015, Teacher Appreciation Week, May 4th through the 8th, 2015, School Nutrition Employee Week, May 4th through the 8th, 2015, School Nurse Day, May 6th, 2015, and National Educational Bosses Week, May 18th through the 22nd, 2015.
Thank you very much. And this, with permission, I would be happy to sign. It certainly goes without saying that it takes many hands to see the success that's in this room this evening. And we are appreciating every one of the people who contributed to the success of our students and to the comfort that our families have in taking their kids to our schools. It's been moved and seconded. Is there a question or discussion? Roll call, Ms. Bria?
Mr. DeWitt?
Aye.
Mr. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Lydiak?
Aye.
Dr. Richard?
Aye.
Mr. Richardson?
Aye.
Mrs. Solis?
Aye.
And the motion carries 6-0.
Thank you very much, and we certainly honor those involved in our educational system. Although you may not want to, because this is such an exciting evening, perhaps the parents and award recipients might want to take a subtle exit at this time. Although you're going to miss a lot of fun things, you may want to go do your homework. Thank you very much. Congratulations.